What is up, and welcome back to the Life Unlimited coaching channel. This is Coach Kayla, and I just wanted to do a quick little intro. This next video is day 2 of the Hormone Reset Masterclass. So I hope you enjoy it. You get a lot of information out of it. If you do, please subscribe, click the little notification button, and I will see you next time. What is up, and welcome to day 2 of the Hormone Reset Masterclass. Super pumped to have you. Hopefully yesterday was valuable for all of you who tuned in. Just a kind of a quick review of what we went over, because, you know, if you missed it and you're tuning in today, you might be confused. Just kidding. So yesterday we talked about what hormones were that, are specifically related to fat loss, okay? So namely testosterone, estrogen, and cortisol. And then we talked about all of the ways that they are negatively impacted these days with our lifestyles and all of the fun stuff, right? And so today we're going to talk about how to fix it, okay? And it's a lot simpler than you might think, okay? And so let's jump right into it, shall we? Okay. This might look a little familiar, we had some fun yesterday. So let's go ahead and jump to habits that encourage hormonal optimization, okay? The number one, and not only because it's the first one that I'm going to see, but the number one most important, most crucial habit that you can implement to optimize your hormones and your overall health is improve and increase your sleep. Okay? Like if you only pick one thing to change out of all of the things I'm about to tell you, this has to be it. This has to be it. Okay? Sleep is kind of one of those things where, like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Like, I know when I was in college, I used to say that all the time. But it's kind of like a badge of honor to not sleep, to like run on no sleep. And there are going to be seasons of your life when you are not sleeping optimally because you have infants at home. You have, your work schedules are crazy. Like, there's going to be times when sleep is not happening at the level that it should, okay? But as much as we possibly can, you need to improve and increase sleep. And if you want to know more information on how you can improve your sleep, okay, so maybe you give yourself enough time to sleep 7 to 9 hours, but you don't sleep the whole time or whatever, then, or maybe you try to go to bed at a good time, but you just can't get to sleep, right? And if that's you, just let me know. Just comment below, because I've done a training on sleep. Like it was a while ago, but I can find it and tag you in it. Okay. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you can add in adaptogenic herbs. Okay. Now, if you don't know what these are, they're a natural, like medicinal plant. There's lots of different ones, but they help your body adapt to stress and they regulate the body's cortisol levels. Okay. So if your cortisol level is too low, then they're going to bring it up. If it's too high, they bring it down. So if you're depressed or anxious, either one, it doesn't matter. Your body's the adaptogenic herbs help regulate it and bring it to normal. Does that make sense? These things are freaking awesome. Okay. And if you don't, so some examples of ones that you should go and get. Okay. And these things have been around for thousands of years. Like Western medicine's new in the big scheme of things. These are old. This is old Eastern, long time medicinal stuff that people have been using for ages, and they're just coming back because people realize how beneficial they are. Okay. So some examples are Panax ginseng, rhodiola, ashwagandha, eleuthero, right? So if you don't know where to find these, and don't just like go to Walmart and buy crappy stuff. Like I have some of the best that I can recommend. And so if this genuinely is something that you want to add in, just message me or comment below. Be like, I want the herbs. Then I can send you the right direction. Okay. Fair enough. Cool. The third thing is exercise wisely. Okay. Now, a lot of people, they'll exercise wisely. I could go on and on about how to exercise not wisely, but we're going to talk about how to exercise wisely. Okay. So to exercise wisely, you want to be doing 2 to 4 sessions of strength training per week. And you don't want these strength training sessions to last for longer than 60 to 75 minutes total. Okay. And if you are a male and you are trying to increase your testosterone, you need to shorten the rest periods in between your lifts. Okay. So like a lot of men, like power lifters, or if they've done a weightlifting class, especially men, because they've experienced different types of strength training like all across their lives. Like they've done football, especially athletes, right? If you're resting like 3 to 5 to like if you're resting long periods of time, you're not doing you're not performing optimally to increase testosterone. I don't know if that sentence made any sense, but you get what I'm saying. Like it would be better to shorten the rest periods. Okay. So you want to rest like maybe 3 minutes max, 2 to 3 minutes, minute and a half, 3 minutes. Like that's how long you want to rest for in between sets. Okay. And the total session should only be 60 to 75 minutes. If it's beyond that, like you should not be weightlifting that long. Okay. And then you should have light cardio on the off days. Okay. So let's say you're lifting 4 times a week. The other 3 days should be yoga, something that's like stretching, walking, maybe on the elliptical, but light cardio. Okay. Meaning you're keeping your heart rate below your 70% of your max. Okay. And if you don't know what your max is, it's usually 220 minus your age, right? And if you don't monitor your heart rate while you're doing cardio, then you should get your heart rate monitor. Like, especially if this is important to you and you know that your hormones need to be optimized, these are all things that you need to track. Okay. I joke about it all the time, but I have a tracker for everything, right? I have my Apple Watch, so I track my steps and I record my workouts, and there's fun competitions and stuff you can do on there. But then I also have a Whoop band, right? I'm crazy. I have 2 watches, but like the Whoop band measures your strain and your sleep and your recovery and like all sorts of cool stuff, right? And so like, do you need both? No, you could just pick one, but pick one. And then I have a MyZone belt where I track my heart rate. Like there's all, and I mean, the Apple Watch does too. It's actually pretty darn close from they're pretty much the same. So, but you get what I'm saying. There's lots of different ways to measure what's going on in your workouts, and it's beneficial. All of them are beneficial, especially if this is something that's very important to you. Okay. So exercise wisely. And then another one is to de-stress your life. Okay. This is probably, if I were to put a number 2 on it, it would be sleep as number 1, and then de-stressing your life is number 2. Okay. Now, the thing is if you can't remove stressful things, like let's say you have an extremely stressful job that you love for some reason, right? So it's extremely stressful, but you love it, and so you don't want to remove it, right? Then what you need to do is you need to add in stress relieving activities, okay? And that should be 60 to 120 minutes every single week. So if you did the math on that, that's like 10 to 20 minutes, 5 to 20 minutes a day, depending on how many days a week you do it, okay? And this can be a number of different things. It can be tapping, it can be praying, it can be journaling, it can be yoga, it can be walking, it can be spending time with some friends, spending time with family, hobbies. Like if you are a snowboarder and you haven't been snowboarding in 4 years because your life is so stressful and your work's so crazy, then you probably should go snowboarding. Do you know what I mean? Like that would probably de-stress you. Meditating, that's an obvious one. Get outside and play. Put the phone away and go play with your kids. Play with them. Play with your husband. Play, like just do whatever. But play. Define it and then go do it. Okay? And then, once again, I just want to emphasize, So these de-stressing activities, they're important because they help bring your stress level down, right? But your stress level is never going to be at 0, and it's not supposed to be. Okay, it's not whether you are or are not stressed, it's how stressed are you. And so you just need to regulate how stressed your body is, okay? Because when you're overly stressed and you're chronically stressed and you're stressed all of the time, that's when you can actually go into what's called HPA axis. I can't think of the last word for some reason. I'm having a brain fart. HPA axis dysfunction. And the thing is if you're chronically stressed to that point, it takes 3 to 12 months to heal it. To heal your body from being that stressed. And the only way to heal it is to remove stressors. Okay? And so, like, obviously, or to really dedicate your time to de-stressing. Okay? So if you're at that point, which the only way, I mean, you'd have to be medically diagnosed, right? If you're at that point, then like it's seriously crucial for your health, right? But long story short, what I'm saying is like too much stress is a definitive bad thing. And I think a lot of times we kind of wear it as a badge of honor, like we're super busy, we're super stressed and, you know, whatever. But like you need to de-stress too, okay? So whatever that looks like for you. For me, honestly, like working out as a de-stress, it helps me de-stress, right? But then at the same time, it stresses my body out to work out. So there needs to be a balance of what that looks like. Mentally, it's really good for me. Physically, I stress my body out. Does that make sense? So like, you have to find the balance. And only you can know what that balance is, right? Now, one thing that I did want to like make super clear is sometimes we're like, oh, I just need to like turn my brain off and de-stress. And the things that we go towards are TV and social media. And unfortunately, those two things, especially if you're doing it right before bed, right? When you should be winding down and letting the melatonin go up and the cortisol go down, you're not doing that because your body is being like influenced by artificial light. And so your cortisol is not going down like it should. Crazy, right? And so if you are stressed and you know it, TV and social media are not the way to de-stress. You need to do reading, you need to do writing, you need to do journaling, you need to do any of these things. Get outside, like do things that help you unplug, literally. Okay? The next thing is to remove stimulants. Okay? This is especially if you know hormonal deregulation is a problem. It's a must, even. Okay? I mean, for the most part, most of us can take a little bit of caffeine and it's not going to totally throw everything off, all right? But if you know that if you take caffeine, it throws off your sleep, or if you know if you take caffeine, you don't sleep as well because you're tracking it very well, or whatever, then you need to remove them, or at least only have it before 9 a.m. and then never take it after 2, okay? There's going to be some exceptions to this. There is always exceptions. But what I'm saying is, like, if you know it's a problem, you know it affects your sleep, you know it affects all of those things, like just either remove them or stop taking them after 9 a.m. Okay? Now, this one's going to be a shocker, but one habit that actually encourages optimal hormones is to increase your carb intake. All of you keto people are freaking out right now, aren't you? And the reason that is because if your pancreas injects insulin into your bloodstream, it actually shuts off the cortisol response. Okay, so if you intake carbs, your body has to turn on insulin, cortisol shuts down. Okay, and if you think about it logically, we're going to go back to like, this totally makes sense because of cavemen, right? Rational thinking. If you are a caveman and you are wandering around and you are in fight or flight, okay, you are not going to be eating or drinking while you are running away from a mountain lion. You're not. Okay? Because you are in a fight or flight, you are stressed out. And when you are sitting down and enjoying a meal, you are no longer stressed out. And so we actually kind of send the message to our body like, we're okay. by consuming carbs. Okay? So you need to increase your carb intake in order to de-stress your body and to optimize hormone levels. Okay? This fat and carbs, honestly. But I say carbs because that seems to be the hated one right now, especially, right? And that seems to be the main problem in a lot of women that we've seen that have hormone issues. They have not been eating enough carbs, okay, for long periods of time because they have been deemed the devil food for the last 10 to 15 years, right? And so when you do start increasing your carb intake, you want to do it in a slow, controlled manner. And obviously you get bonus points if you do it with a coach. Shameless plug, right? And the reason you need to do it slow is so that you don't gain too much weight in the process. However, sometimes increasing carbs actually encourages weight loss because you're no longer under too much stress. Okay? And so usually if you were a client of ours and we know that like your carb intake hasn't been high enough or whatever, we'll slowly increase it week by week, month by month, over time, watching your weight, making sure it's still going down or maintaining or whatever we need to do based off of your current situation and your body at the moment, right? So if you were to do all of these things, it would help encourage optimum hormone regulation in your bodies, okay? So just to review, we got sleep, adaptogenic herbs, always good. I have some really good ones I can recommend if you are interested in doing that. Exercise wisely, okay? De-stress your life, number two biggest one after sleep. And then remove stimulants, okay? If you are going to remove stimulants, the first 2 weeks are going to suck. I'm telling you right now. But then after that, you'll feel amazing. And then increase your carbs, okay? Your body needs to feel safe. One way it can feel safe is by you increasing your carbs and actually feeding it what it needs. Okay? So like, maybe I should have added that. Fueling your body optimally. Okay? So increasing carbs, making sure it has enough protein, making sure it has enough fats, making sure your body is nourished. Okay? It's crucial. Okay, if your body is feeling like it is getting all the nutrients it needs, macro and micro, it's going to be less stressed. Okay, so just think of it that way. All right, so now what, right? This information is great, but now you have to take action. Okay, so we're doing something fun. In order to encourage this action, I'm officially announcing something pretty awesome. So what if you could not only work on these habits we've just talked about, but you could do it with the help of a community and a coach? And what if it was free? Would you be all in? Comment yes below. Yes, yes, yes. By the way, I'm on Zoom, so I can't see any of these comments, but you better be commenting. Super pumped. Okay, cool. So starting January 31st, so that's next Monday, 30th. January 30th, January 30th, we are launching a free 14-day Happy Hormone Challenge, okay? So in this challenge, we're going to be focusing on implementing the habits that create happy hormones, the ones we just talked about, okay? So if you did our 21-day challenge back in September, it's very, very, very similar, but we're changing the habits that we're focusing on, okay? So within the challenge, you're going to pick one habit that you'd like to implement during the challenge for each category. And the categories are fuel, fitness, focus, and 40 winks. Okay. That one. So fuel-wise, food-wise, you can pick to eat balanced meals. You can pick to eat healthy carbs at each meal. You can choose to take your adaptogenic herbs. Okay. As an example, fitness, we've got walking, we've got strength training, we've got a workout plan you can follow. Focus will be the de-stressing activity of your choice for the 14 days. Okay. And then finally, the last one is 40 wings, and this one is mandatory. And you're going to try and shoot for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Got it? Got it. If you want in, I'm going to drop the link to sign up in the comments. Okay. And then after you register, you'll be redirected to sign up for your kickoff call or no, I'm sorry. The kickoff call is going to be Monday night at 5:30. Okay. And so on the kickoff call, we'll make sure that we help you pick your habits. If you did the 21-day challenge back in September, it's going to be similar format. Like I'm going to reach out to you every week. It's going to be fun. So on the kickoff call though, we'll go over the challenge packet. We'll make sure everybody's got it. And then we're going to be giving away a bunch of prizes. Okay. I think it's like with gift cards and free coaching and all sorts of stuff. It's like thousands of dollars of prizes. Okay. So, if you have any questions, just comment below. I'll make sure I drop the link. And if you are interested in jumping in, I'm going to be blowing up everybody's inboxes to see if they want to sign up anyway. But comment below if you want first dibs, and I'll make sure you get access. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully these last 2 days have been super valuable. I'm excited to do this challenge with all of you. It's going to be fun, and I'll chat with you all later.